Okay, this is test 3 of the official SAT study guide. This is the math calculator section. Question 1. The graph above shows Marilyn's distance from her campsite during a 3-hour hike. She stopped for 30 minutes during her hike to have lunch. Based on the graph, which of the following is closest to the time she finished lunch and continued her hike? So what we're looking for here is we're looking for a flat section. Okay. So it seems like she finished her lunch right around this point, and that looks to me like about 1:40 p.m. The reason why we're looking for a flat section is because the slope of this graph represents the velocity, or in other words, speed. And the way that I can tell that is by looking at the units of my y and my x. So x is in time, which can be measured in hours, for example. So if we look at those units, right, slope is change in y over change in x. And so that's going to be measured in miles, because the y is in miles and the x is in hours. So miles per hour, for example, is a unit of speed. So I know the slope represents speed. So if she stopped, her speed should be 0, which means that the slope should be 0. And that means it's a flat section. Question 2. The table above shows the distribution of age and gender for 25 people who entered a contest. If the contest winner will be selected at random, what is the probability that the winner will be either a female under age 40 or a male age 40 or older? Okay. So we have to look at those two categories. Together, they'll make up our numerator, right? So whenever we do probability, we have a numerator and a denominator. So the numerator represents the success and the denominator represents the total. So in this case, success would be female under 40, and the success would also be male 40 plus. Okay? So now we just need to figure out what the total would be. And it looks like the total is just 25 people, right? So now we need to figure out the numbers for these two categories. So females under 40, well, we would go to females and under 40, that's 8, right? So we have 8. And males 40 or older, so we go to the 40 or older category of males, that would be 2. So we have 8 plus 2 over 25, so that's just going to be 10 over 25. That's answer choice B. Oops, looks like I forgot to start the clock. So we'll just add a couple minutes to the end. The graph below shows the total number of music album sales in millions each year from 1997 to 2009. Based on the graph, which of the following best describes the general trend in music album sales from 97 to 2009? Okay, so not a whole lot is changing here, but looks like it goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up very briefly, and then down. So the general trend is to go down after this initial upward swing here. So I'd say it goes up, and then it goes pretty much down. Okay. Sales generally increased, generally decreased, increased until 2000. So let's see. If we're starting at 97, this would be 98, 99, and 2000. So that is looking pretty good. Then generally decreased. So yeah, after 2000, they generally decreased. So that's a good choice there. Okay. Question 4. The table above shows values of the linear function f. Which of the following defines f? Okay, so let's see. When I plug in x equals 1, I should get an output of -2. So let's try that. So in this case, x is really represented by n. So I plug in n equals 1, so I get 1 minus 3, so that's -2. That is solid, right? So I can continue, try plugging in the next one. 2 times 1 is 2, minus 4 is -2. So when I plug in 2, I'm supposed to get -1. But here for choice A, or sorry, let me see something. Hold on. Sorry. Yeah, so what I'm doing here is I'm checking this point for all of the choices. So A is good so far, B is good. Checking C, if I plug in 1, 3 minus 5, also negative 2, and then plug in 1 here, 4 minus 6, also negative 2. So all 4 choices work for the first point. So that didn't get us anywhere. All right, so now we move on to the second point. When I plug in x equals 2, I should get an output of 1. So 2 minus 3, I get negative 1. So that's no good because we want it to be 1. Here we go, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 minus 4 is 0. So that also doesn't work. I want 1. I'm plugging in 2 here, so I get 6 minus 5 is 1, so that works. And then I get 8 minus 6 is 2, but we wanted 1. So C is the only one that works for the second point. At Lincoln High School, approximately 7% of enrolled juniors and 5% of enrolled seniors were inducted into the National Honor Society. If there were 562 juniors and 602 seniors, okay, so we can already take those percentages. Which of the following is closest to the total number of juniors and seniors last year who were inducted into the Honor Society? So we want to do 7% of the juniors, and juniors is 562. And we also want to do 5% of the seniors, and the seniors is 602. So basically 7% really means percent is divided by 100. So another way to do that is to move the decimal twice to the left. So that is equivalent to 0.07. So I have 0.07, then of means times. So I times that by 562. Same thing down here, I do 0.05 times 602, okay? Let's use the calculator. So 0.07 times 562, I get this, 39.34. And then I do 0.05 times 602, that gives me 30.1. So 30.1. Now I just have to add these together. So I add 39.34, and that gives me 69.44. Okay, so it's approximately 69 people, choice B. Which of the following is the sum of the two polynomials shown above? So all we have to do is add the like terms, right? Or I should say combined. So 3x squared and 5x squared is 8x squared. Negative 5x, negative 2x is negative 7x, right? They're both on the same negative team, if you will. Plus 2 and negative 6, those are on opposite teams, so the numbers subtract. We take the sign of the larger. So we get 8x squared minus 7x minus 4. Answer choice A.